Hey everybody, Stitch 1993 here, and this is the last toy review of the year. Can you believe that we are in December? I feel like this year has just flown by, and it's funny because I'm recording this in August, but even now it really feels like this year has just flown by so fast. So last December, for those who recall, I did a board game review. I did the spaceship version of Battleship. And I thought, hey, let's keep it a tradition, do a board game review in December. And so I thought, I've been reviewing a bunch of Potato Head stuff, and I haven't reviewed any of their board games. And so I'm going to review the one that I grew up with. This is the 1995's Playskool Games Mr. Potato Head Pals Mix and Match game. Now, I'm going to preface here, this is not a 100% complete set that I have. I have all 4 Potato Head Pals. I even have all 4 cards. However, I'm not missing the spinner. It's one of those things I've been needing to get around to purchasing. You can buy them individually on eBay. And I even came across one back in Greenville. I just didn't check to see if it had the spinner in it. Plus, I think they wanted a little more than I was willing to pay. Especially since I have not only those, but multiple of those. But we'll get into that in a little bit. So first, this is not the first time the Potato Heads would have a board game. They've actually been having a board game pretty much every decade up until this point. We got Tutti Frutti Friends game in '66. We got the Mr. Potato Head board game in '76 that was using the Super Potato Head pieces. We got Potato Head Kids in '86, which is the Potato Head Kids were kind of similar to the designs of these. And then, of course, 1995, we got Potato Head Pals. Now, interesting enough, this is like the last time we get a Potato Head board game where it was using the Potato Head pieces. We have gotten board games since then, but they're either using just little cardboard pieces, or they're using Play-Doh. They're kind of a take on the Grape Escape board game where you have to move your little Play-Doh piece around the board without it getting caught and trapped, kind of like Mousetrap, getting trapped and squished and stuff. So this is 1995, almost 20 years, oh goodness, almost 30 years since we've had a Potato Head board game. And this is probably my favorite out of all of them. Of course, they're all the ones I've mentioned. They all pretty much play the same for the most part. You have your Potato Head, or you start out with a card, and you spin the spinner, and whoever spins and gets all the pieces first wins. But we'll go into the board game here in a little bit. I'm going to show it off the box, and then we'll go into the toys. Alright, so we've got, this course is for ages 3. This is, of course, for ages 3 to 6, but of course you can play it at any age. It says no reading required. I don't know if this game came with an instruction manual. I've only ever seen it used. It possibly could be. I don't know. Of course, then you've got the 4 Potato Head bodies. You've got hands for each of them. Eyes and nose pieced together. So that's all one piece. Mouths, hats, and shoes. And of course, you got the 4 cards. Now, each one of these may not come in the colors shown on the box. The ones I do have, for the most part, match the colors perfectly. But growing up, some of the Potato Heads I had different colors. Like, I believe the cowboy one, the hat was like blue and the boots were orange. I think her high heels were like purple or something. Anyways, so the colors mix and match. But it's fine. I didn't find too weird. So this is, of course, the front of the box. It says 2 levels of play, which we'll get to in a little bit here. And of course, on each of the sides here, we'll have 2 of the characters, and I believe it's the same 2 characters, Mary and Tex. Yeah, Mary, Tex. Mary and Tex. And yeah, this This box has seen some. Has seen better days. I got this version at a thrift store. Ooh, probably about a decade ago, and it's just been kind of sitting, collecting dust. I played it a good bit growing up. So on the back here, we had a better look at the toys here, and I want to say the photos here seem a bit off. I don't know if you can tell, but they look like, at least for some of them, they look like prototypes or like first paintings, especially the Tex and Chief. Look at their eyes. The pupils are just so small compared to what the eventually end up has. I'm going to pull them out here just so you can see. So this is what we got for Tex, and then here is Chief's. You can definitely tell that doesn't look right there. Missy and Mary look fine though. And then we've got up here at the top says, Mr. Potato Head Pals, I'll lend you my eyes and my nose. I'll even lend you my hat. Down here in the potato patch, we're having lots of fun mixing and matching, all for the Mr. Potato Head Pals. First, put together any one complete pal, hands, nose, hat, and all. Next, can you create the pal that exactly matches the pal on the card? What a silly bunch of spuds. You got 2 skill building games. This is again during the time when Playskill was really pushing. The Potato Heads were like an educational toy, which they are, but they're really pushing it during the 90s. So it says, 2 skill building games help build these learning and social skills. Color matching, shape matching, taking turns, following instructions, winning and losing. Again, no reading required. Number of players, 2 to 4. Game includes 4 Potato Head Pal bodies, shoes, hats, eyes, and nose, mouths, 8 hands, spinner, and 4 cards. So it doesn't even say any instructions on the back. This is kind of, I think this is the most we get for instructions. So here on the right, it has, let's play, and it's got 3 little steps here. So it says, what potato part did you spin? Eyes, mouth, shoes. For game 1, you can gather 1 of each part and mix up a silly pal. And then for game 2, can you create the pal to match your card? Howdy, Tex. So me and my sister, we mostly just played game 1, because very early on into owning the game, we lost the cards, and I'll show you them here. They're very small. This, like, I mean, they're small for my hand. I'm sure they're a normal size for a little kid's hand here, but yeah, so this is the back of each card. And then we've got ones for Mary, Chief, Tex, and Missy. And so we would, of course, spin the spinner, and we'd first have to get a body, or I guess you could get the pieces, and then once you spun the body, and then you put all the pieces on the body. But we kind of played that. I don't think we ever, knew that these had names to them. I do know that later on in like the early 2000s, they would start selling each of these guys individually. I think they got away with the names and they just called them Mr. and Mrs. Potato Heads. But you did, or could buy them individually. I think even now you can still, in some like dollar stores, find them individually boxed and everything. But yeah, this was like the only time they would, or I guess their first time being in it. And of course here at the bottom it says, look for other Playskill games. We got Dot the Dog, Slide and Ride, and Kanga Bangaroo. Slide and Ride was always the one that interested me growing up. I never had any of these other ones. So down in the comments, if you've ever had any of these other games here growing up, or even this one, let me know, because that one always looked really cool. I may try to look out for that one in the future. Anyways, so let's get to the Potato Heads, shall we? So first, each of them came with a small little body, and of course it's only got 2 holes instead of the normal 3 on the front. It's got 1 hole on each side because they do not have any ears. But you do still have the slot on the bottom and the slot on the top. They don't even have a trunk. Now, they did make the holes big enough to where you could use the regular Potato Head pieces on them. And eventually we got rid of the box, got rid of the spinner, and so growing up we just had these mixed in with the other Potato Head parts, and let me tell you, they could really make some interesting looks on them when you put the regular sized potato pieces on these. So each of these would come with a little body, and then of course we're going to do Tex first. So he's got the cowboy shoe, he's got the cowboy hat. Now in the box his mouth was red, but I got the pink. Got the orange nose and blue pupils. Kind of remind me of like Dr. Seuss pupils. And of course 2 white gloved hands. And there you go. And that's Tex. Next is Missy. So she would have green shoes. Same body, same arms. She had a yellow mouth with the tongue sticking out. She had these half open eyelids with the purple eyelashes and purple pupils and yellow nose. And of course this little hat with a ribbon on the back. And that would be Missy. Next was Chief. He had the yellow versions of just the normal blue tennis shoes that you'd usually see. And he had a pink tongue. Black pupil eyes with the red nose. Growing up, we always assumed this kind of looked like Elmo. And a little hard hat. And I must say that, especially for Chief and Missy, their hats are made out of like a much softer plastic, so they're very malleable, very squishy. And of course last we had Mary, and she had purple versions of the kind of slip-on shoes that most of the Miss Potato Heads that had at that time. She had pink wavy lips. I think on the box they were purple, but mine came with pink. These really big eyeballs with teal pupils and teal eyelashes and a pink nose. And then a blue little hat that was pretty reminiscent to the regular Mrs. Potato Head hat. Now, just to show you some comparison of the size, this is a regular Potato Head compared to the smaller ones. As you can see, about half the size of what a regular Potato Head was at the time there. But as I said, you could swap out most of the pieces, actually pretty much all the pieces. It makes some really silly looking faces. Just makes that like that. Some really silly looking faces there. And that was the Playskool Games Miss Potato Head Pals Mix and Match game. Probably one of my favorite board games growing up, for no other reason than it was me being able to play with potato heads. And if you do have the spinner, I mean, you could use this for the large potato heads. And I'm also honestly surprised that to this day, almost 30 years later, we still haven't gotten another potato head game. But in the same vein as this and the ones from decades past. But that's going to be it for this year for toy reviews. Make sure to like and subscribe for future toy reviews. Next year I'll be talking about a bunch more Potato Heads, and check out my other Potato Head videos. I even did a history of Potato Head video, going over from the beginning up until 2023. And let me know if you grew up with this Potato Head game, and which one was your favorite, or did you grow up with just getting the individual Potato Heads? Because I know they're much more cheaper than the regular Potato Heads. I usually think they ran for maybe about $1 to $5 there. And did you not know that they were from a board game? And of course, until next time, thank you and have a good day. Bye bye.